Welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to look at the following WWE news and rumors. We are first going to look at 5 surprises rumored to happen on WWE SmackDown, which will include Seth Rollins confronts a current champion, new tag team enters title picture, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns team up to take on Edge, and WWE SmackDown superstar Kevin Owens. Lastly, we are going to look at WWE couple Lee and Mia Yim announce their engagement. And the rumors of Seth Rollins possibly aligning with Roman Reigns when he returns to WWE SmackDown. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Without wasting any time, let's get into it. WWE SmackDown is on the horizon, and this week's episode is certain to be a big one on the road to WrestleMania. Seth Rollins' return has been advertised, although it has not been mentioned what he will be up to. So, let's put our Booker hats on and speculate as to what could potentially happen in this critical episode of WWE SmackDown on the road to WrestleMania. If you can envision interesting situations on WWE SmackDown this week, be sure to let us know in the comments section below. Do you think the show has been consistently better than Raw as we head into WrestleMania season? What do you think Seth Rollins will do on WWE SmackDown this week? Seth Rollins is scheduled to return to action on this week's episode of WWE SmackDown, and let's face it, he will not return for an unimportant storyline. Since the WWE Universal Champion is a heel, much like Rollins, it doesn't make sense for him to go after his former Shield mate. Plus, Big E needs a compelling storyline to elevate him to the next level, does he not? Seth Rollins vs Big E for the WWE Intercontinental Championship may be just what the doctor ordered. Both men have known each other from their days in NXT and will want to work with one another to elevate one another to the next level. It allows Seth Rollins to break away from Rey Mysterio on WWE SmackDown as well, especially if you consider how the two men have been attached at the hip for months. WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Dirty Dogs, scored a big victory on last week's show when they overcame the might of the Alpha Academy, making short work of Chad Gable and Otis. On the very same episode of WWE SmackDown, Dominic put the ghost of King Corbin, a force that had been haunting him for weeks on end, to rest with the help of the legendary Rey Mysterio. Can we see Rey Mysterio and Dominic come together and go after the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships? Not only will working with seasoned veterans like Ziggler and Rude be a great way to elevate Dominic's career, but Rey Mysterio's final hurrah before he rides off into the sunset could come from winning the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Where else do you insert Rey Mysterio as WrestleMania 37 approaches? It would be criminal to leave him off the card, and the only other slot is the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship picture. We've explored the possibility that Seth Rollins' WWE SmackDown return could involve a showdown with the Intercontinental Champion, Big E. There's yet another, far more exciting scenario that could happen, one that involves a partnership with his Shield mate, the Tribal Chief. Both Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are heels now, and an alliance between them makes sense. There is uncertainty around the medical status of Jey Uso, which presents us with a very interesting opportunity to see the two biggest heels on the WWE SmackDown brand reunite for another run. When you get one dream team back, there's always the possibility of a second one happening on the very same show. Could fellow Canadians Kevin Owens and Edge come together on WWE SmackDown, uniting for the main event against the vicious and devious alliance of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins? Imagine what a massive headlining contest this will be if this dream match really does happen this week. Not long ago, WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks and Carmella's sommelier, Reginald, engaged in what was a fast and furious contest that went back and forth. It allowed us to see that intergender wrestling, something WWE is generally averse to, can be very entertaining if done right. Companies like Impact Wrestling and Lucha Underground have embraced this phenomenon, and the matches have been absolutely spectacular. After his little interaction with WWE SmackDown star, Royal Rumble winner, and the next big thing, Bianca Belair, last week, could we see the two of them tear it up on this week's episode? Bianca Belair and Reginald could have an athletic contest much like the one that the sommelier had with the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, with the added advantage of him being at the mercy of Belair's braid. We saw her use her hair as a weapon against Reginald, and it got over in a big way last week. Maybe the forbidden door to intergender wrestling opens up after this. Raw superstars Lee and Mia Yim have been known to the WWE Universe as a couple for some time. They even competed together in NXT during their rivalries against Johnny Gargano and Candice. The duo both moved to WWE's main roster in 2020, with Keith Lee immediately being thrust into the title picture and Mia Yim becoming part of Retribution. After spending a few years dating, the duo have just taken to social media to announce their engagement. Mia Yim uploaded a photo of the happy couple to her Twitter page, bearing the caption, "I said yes. Mr. and Mrs. Lee." In the photo, the pair have huge smiles on their faces, with Mia Yim showing off her brand new engagement ring. There are multiple married couples in WWE, and also quite a few that are engaged like Keith Lee and Mia Yim. As well as these WWE couple, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins became engaged in 2019, and their 2020 wedding is still on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Becky Lynch said yes to Seth Rollins, while the pair were enjoying a break away from WWE. The pair recently welcomed their first child into the world, a daughter named Rue. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are arguably the two biggest WWE superstars of the past decade, with due respect to CM Punk and Becky Lynch. Not only did they run roughshod over the roster as members of The Shield, but they have individually had WWE Hall of Fame-worthy careers in their own right. Do you want to see this dominant duo rule the roost once again, or do you think they are past their expiry date as a tandem? The uncertainty of Jey Uso's status could cause Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins to unite. Roman Reigns may have no other choice but to join hands with Seth Rollins, considering that we do not yet know what's up with Jey Uso. Bear in mind that he was supposed to be a part of the Royal Rumble match, but was then eliminated from the proceedings as reports emerged of him not being medically cleared to wrestle. We obviously hope and wish for a speedy recovery for Jey Uso, someone who's been an integral part of the SmackDown brand, and someone who has been a valuable on-screen asset for Roman Reigns. That said, an alliance with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in such a situation won't be the worst decision. We've only seen Jey Uso in the background lately, not getting physically involved in the faction. Adding Seth Rollins to the mix resolves that issue, for the time being. This may be a good quick fix solution that leads to a wealth of opportunities over the long haul. Not to mention until recently, Roman Reigns was a babyface that Vince McMahon forced us, the fans, to like even though we violently protested against it. The WWE Universe let their displeasure be known with a chorus of boos and jeers, but WWE was determined to have Roman Reigns be the face of the brand. It is only recently that WWE understood that Roman Reigns is far better as a heel, allowing him to take on the head of the table gimmick. Seth Rollins' heel turn hasn't been nearly as successful, considering the Monday Night Messiah gimmick seems to have run its course. With eyeballs popping and affairs frowned upon by the family, in addition to a tumultuous relationship between Messiah and disciple, Seth Rollins had no chance of making it work. He tried his best, but he was doomed from the word go. An alliance could be a new start for Seth Rollins and a way for Roman Reigns to extend his current heel gimmick for a few more months. Do you want Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins to join alliance? Be sure to leave your thoughts and opinion below. Until then, see you in the next video.